Hey everybody, thank you for coming to check out today's video. I am making another Halloween project. If you're seeing this the day it came out, happy Halloween. Otherwise, thanks for coming to, check out this project. I wanted to make a jack-o'-lantern, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me to carve a pumpkin and do all that work and then have something cool for a couple weeks until it rots. So I thought I'll make the forever jack-o'-lantern. So I will be using this old propane bottle as my jack-o'-lantern, and hopefully it, you know, lasts a little bit longer than a couple weeks. So let me show you how I did it. To start this out, I wanted to get all the old nasty paint off the bottles, so I grabbed a can of paint stripper and sprayed it all over, let it sit for a little bit, and scraped off what I could, but it didn't all come off. So I thought grab my wire wheel, but using the wire wheel was a little slow going, so I switched to a sanding disc and it went much faster. With the bottle all cleaned up, I moved on to putting the vinyl sticker that I'm using for my stencil onto the bottle. I sprayed it down with some window cleaner so it'd be a little easier to manipulate while I put the vinyl on. With it in place, it was time to grab some random gift card that I had sitting in my wallet so I could smooth everything out before removing the contact paper. With everything set, I grabbed a can of random paint that I had sitting around and painted where I obviously put the vinyl. So once everything's done and dry, I can pull the vinyl off and have a nice stencil for when I start cutting everything out. In the meantime, while I let that dry, I grabbed the valve off the top of the tank that I removed when I purged it and made sure it wouldn't blow up in my face. I want this to be the stem on my jack-o'-lantern. I'm going to paint it green and put it back on at the very end when I'm done cutting and cleaning up and painting the bottle. With the paint dry, it's time to pull the vinyl off and start cutting all of this out. To start, I grabbed just a normal cut-off wheel because there's a lot of straight cuts, so easiest way to make a nice clean cut, straight lines. But eventually I will have to pull out my new torch setup, but don't get too excited because unfortunately I didn't plan ahead very well, and the first time I tried to use it is right now, and I didn't get my settings quite right, and I think I was a little too hot and it just re-melted together, but it did make, decent cuts, so I just had to go back through with the cutoff wheel and detach the parts that were, well, still attached. With that all done, I grabbed a sanding disc to clean up the, well, unfortunately not so great cuts from the torch. After that, grabbed my band file and started doing all the rough cleaning to start straightening out all of the lines and making it look nice. I won't make you guys sit here and watch while I grab my hand files and try and meticulously make everything super nice, or at least try to. So we'll just skip past that. And after I clean up all of my stencil paint, we will move on to getting this thing painted orange. Right before I started painting this, I remembered that I had this rotating display stand from like my first attempt at making B-roll footage, and I don't use it anymore, so why not make an easy turntable for while I'm painting things? I'm gonna do this paint job in 2 coats since it's a large surface area. I don't want to overdo it and get a bunch of runs, so I'm doing a light base coat, and then I'll come back when it's dry and give it another final coat. But with all the painting done, it's time to put my valve back on, or the stem. And since this project is all wrapped up, it's time for some of that B-roll!